Harvest. It is a short story by Loreto para Sulit. She was a Filipino writer, most well known for her short stories in the English language. She was born on December 10, 1908 in Ermita, Manila. She was also a founding member of the University of the Philippines Writers Club. The story was first published in 1930. It's one of Sulit's most anthologized literary works. These are the following characters of the story. First, Miss Francia, a cousin of the master, the girl who catch the attention of Fabian and Vidal. Next is Vidal, a brother of Fabian and the model of Miss Francia. Next is Fabian, the elder brother of Vidal. Then Tinay, a wife of Fabian. She has two children. Trining is one daughter of Fabian and Tinay. The master, the owner of the farm, and last is Milia. Milia belongs to a family with 5 carabaos. In the late afternoon sun, Fabian and Vidal were harvesting palay stalks under the master's rice field.
Fabian, continuously cutting down palays, then later scoops it up, then look at Vidal.
How stubborn, this younger brother of mine. How hard-headed. It is because he knows how very much good-looking he is, how he is so much run after by all the women in town. The obstinate young fool with his queer dreams, his strange adorations, his wistfulness for a life not of these fields, not of their quiet, colorless women and the dullness of long nights of unbroken silence and sleep. But he would bend. He must bend. One of these days, he shall fall, he would.
How does he manage it? No wonder the master won't let him go. He could harvest a field in the morning that would require 3 men to finish in a day. He can be quite scary, always being a daunting one. He who wouldn't appreciate the simple beauties in life.
Harvest time is almost ended, Vidal. Soon of the planting season will be on us, and we shall have need of many carabaos. Milia's father has 5. You have but to ask her, and Milia will accept you anytime. Why do you delay?
Vidal suddenly stands up straight and smiles shyly at Miss Francia and the master, holding his burry hat and fidgeting.
Ah, it is my model. How are you, Vidal?
Fabian tenses his muscles but continues to work, not looking at whoever talked behind him.
I'm okay, Miss Francia.
How is the harvest time, Vidal?
It's good, master. We've earned plenty more than we expected.
Vidal was shocked when Miss Francia wipes the sweat in his face after responding to the master's question, and when Fabian saw it, he just looks away and runs silently.
What's it with their boys? What? And their scent.
From now on, he must work for me every morning, possibly all day.
Very well. Everything as you, please.
He is your brother, you say, Vidal? Oh, your elder brother. He has very splendid arms.
Fabian turns to look at Miss Francia.
Beautiful.
Miss Francia and Fabian has short eye-to-eye moment, and Fabian looks away, blushing.
How splendid! How splendid!
Thank you. Thank you. Francia?
Miss Francia takes and leans on the arm of the master, then walks away with him. Vidal, Fabian, returns to work in silence.
Why is it her again? What's it with her?
Why are you that way?
What is my way?
That way of destroying things that are beautiful like moths. Like,
If the dust from the wings of a moth should get into your eyes, you would be blind.
that is not the reason.
Things that are beautiful have a way of hurt. I destroy it when I feel a hurt.
Oh, but not all beautiful things hurt.
Just better to avoid such scruples.
Remember the lady with master this afternoon? I reckon she's a cousin. They call her Miss Francia. But I know she has a lovely hidden name, like her beauty. She is convalescing from a very serious illness she had, and to pass the time, she makes men out of clay, of stone, Sometimes she uses her fingers, sometimes a chisel.
Vidal came at the master's house and waiting for someone to open the door. Then, the maid opens the door for Vidal and motions for him to enter the mansion. Vidal enters the mansion and looks around, smiling uncertainly.
Good morning, Miss Francia, Master.
Good afternoon.
Miss Francia approaches the two men and smiles at Vidal and the master. The Jew smiles back and then leaves the scene. Miss Francia smiles at Vidal again and gestures at her sculpture studio.
Come, Vidal, this way to my studio.
Vidal smiles back shyly and follows her to the room where she's sculpting a man.
So here's my studio. I want you to pose like a sculptor, Vidal.
Miss Francia gestures at Vidal to pose like a sculpture, and Vidal follows the sample and looks intensely at Miss Francia. After posing like a sculpture at Miss Francia's studio, Vidal waves and says goodbye to Miss Francia and walks straight to the rice field near their house. He found his brother sitting there looking at the dark skies.
Brother, her loveliness is one I cannot understand. When one talks to her forever, so long in the patio, many dreams, many desires came to me. I am lost. I am glad to be lost.
You're insane. Use your mind, Vidal. You have to marry Emilia so we can have the 5 carabaos we needed.
Vidal just stares his brother. Fabian sighs heavily. Fabian pours water on his feet, washes his face and his arms, scrubs his arms with a smooth pebble, and flexes his muscle, then trails his finger to where Miss Francia touches. He looks super in love to Miss Francia. When he looks at the other side, he found his wife playing with her child, Trini.
You're here. How's your day?
Fabian just looks at their direction, then drops his hand and goes inside the home, ignoring his wife. Tinay holding the baby and trying to sleep, and Trining playing jackstone.
Why don't you eat?
No, I can't. I couldn't leave the baby.
Fabian looks down annoyed and flashback Miss Francia's smile and their encounter. Fabian turns around to face Vidal, who's sitting on the supper table, angry but with controlled voice.
Yeah, when I was your age, Vidal, I was already married. It is high time you should be settling down. There is Milia.
I have no desire to marry her nor anybody else. Just for 5 carabaos.
There, you finally said it.
Vidal stands up and stretches his arm, then walks to the door of his room, and pauses to look at Trining. Catches the ball of Trining's jackstone.
Hey, give it back!
Why, you have a little moles on your lips. That means you are very talkative.
You will wake up the baby. Vidal! Vidal!
Training.
Vidal looks at Trining going to Fabian. Trining's head bowed down, half sad, half scared.
Why does she not braid her hair?
Oh, but she's so pretty with her curls free that way about her head.
We shall have to trim her head. I will do it before going out to work tomorrow.
Trining stares in horror at her father, and Tinay looks away sadly and busies herself with the baby. Vidal smile fades, balls his fist and stares in anger to Fabian, uncross his hand, then exits.
Dad, I promised. I will braid my hair next time. Just please don't cut my hair.
No.
As promised, Fabian cuts her daughter's hair, and Trining sobbing softly. Vidal visits Miss Francia's studio. While he was approaching Miss Francia, the woman waves and smiles at him. Vidal greeted Miss Francia smiling.
Good morning, Miss Francia.
Good morning, Vidal.
Miss Francia responds while caressing Vidal's face with intense gaze.
Copy your post last time and I will finish sculpting.
Vidal pause and look at Miss Francia's face. The woman continues her work and casually talking at Vidal, laughing together. After Vidal's work at Miss Francia's studio, he immediately goes home, walking with a smile on his face. Vidal happily narrating what happened with him and Miss Francia, their conversation, funny topics, and more. Then suddenly, Fabian came.
You! It should have been Milia. Having 5 Carabaos are worth a lot of more than the impossible.
No, you don't understand. I won't trade her for Carabaos. As I said, I don't want to marry Milia.
Vidal walks away angrily.
I have news.
Fabian, Tinay, simultaneously looks at Vidal and Renin, doing something.
Miss Francia, she said she'd be leaving within 2 days, and she wanted me to go with her, and then she'd finish the figure she's working on.
No, you don't. You are not going anywhere.
Fabian glares at Vidal, then continues whatever he's doing before Vidal came.
She will pay me more than I can earn here, and help me get a position there, and shall always be near her. Oh, I am going.
And live the life of a servant?
What of that? I should be near her always.
Why do you wish to be near here?
Why? Oh my God! Why?
While Miss Francia is busy with her sculptures, here's Fabian who is tense, staring intensely at Miss Francia, and uncertain what to do.
Ah, the man with the splendid arms.
I am the brother of Vidal.
Yes, Vidal. Speaking of him, I wonder why he still isn't here.
I am afraid he would not come today.
Why so?
He happened to have some things to settle. That's why he couldn't came here and the city.
To marry the girl whose father has 5 Carabaos. You see, Vidal told me about it.
That is the reason to cover up something that would not be known. My brother has wrong with this girl. There will be a child.
I understand. He shall not go with me.
Miss Francia calls for a servant and gives him 20 pesos with instructions. After that, the servant leaves.
Vidal, is he at your house?
After this afternoon, I would never see her. She would never know. But what had she to know?
Fabian whispers.
Your brother should ever know you have told me the real reason why he shouldn't go home with me. It would hurt him, I know. I have to finish the statue before I leave. The arms are still incomplete. Would it be too much to ask you pose for a little while?
He left already, but I won't mind to pause just to finish your sculpture.
Miss Francia nods and they work in silence as the statue was finished. Miss Francia is appreciating the statue. Later that night, Fabian enters the scene. He saw Vidal looks haggard with a crumpled 20 pesos bill on his hand. His face turned in the direction on the window.
Soon, our sampaguitas and kamyas will be gone, my dear sister-in-law, because I shall be seeing Milia every night and her father.
Vidal turns to glance at Fabian, who is washing his face and arms, rubbing extra hard on his arms. Vidal frowned, wondering why his brother is taking too long to scrub his arm at that night.